Hey guys, want to bring you another YouTube video. So I wanted to kind of discuss, if you saw my previous video of my history of who I voted for, kind of show a glimpse how my thought process and how I actually do research on each um, president at the time, and also what was going on. And so I did my early voting. That was last week, and so didn't say who I voted for. Wanted to put out that video so that way you kind of have a good idea. Um, and if you haven't seen it, go ahead and watch it. But then this will make more sense. Um, again, this is going to be one of those few times that you're going to ever have a previous president racing against incumbent that's part of it, their administration. And we would see, based on the research, Kamala Harris would be the furthest left liberal candidate ever. And again, if you've seen any of my other videos, I've she was in the Bay Area when I lived in the Bay Area, and that is one of the reasons why I left, was because of the government there, because how crazy California has become based on taxes, how expensive it is, how they, like, good example, Newsom, how he cleaned up for his GGP, but not for the residents of California or San Francisco. And so the drugs, the homeless, how people were kind of not safe, crime, how you could steal a certain amount and not get prosecuted. So this is based on the Nancy Pelosi, Gavin Newsom, Kamala Harris, how they let it run, and there's other Democrats that let it run to the ground. And that's one of the reasons why I'm afraid, in that sense, if Kamala Harris is in office. She flip flops so much, but we know what she is. If you do your research of what she believed in before, she had to become more moderate because like I said, she is the most far left liberal ever. And that is one of the biggest things I could tell you why I could not go and stand with her in that sense, because of that. And she cannot answer any questions for that reason, because she knows the economy and the border is something she cannot answer, and how much she would spend us into a deficit. We're already in a deficit in the trillions, and all it takes is China or any other country asking for their money, where we could be in deficit if we don't raise the debt ceiling. So that's where I think we were not doing very well under Kamala Harris and the Biden administration. And with the recent job report, there's only 12,000 jobs, and they've had to revise it last couple months because of election year. That kind of shows you how bad the economy is potentially going to show. And what I'm also afraid is that if Trump does win, they're going to blame it on him as he transitions, because some of these job reports and economy reports are delayed. So that's what's probably going to happen. Like I said, I usually don't count the end of a president as a transition or the beginning, because there is delay reports. I would look more at like June or July or August is when things should transition over. So there's always that delay. Like, even if Trump wins this election, all of this is the carryover. So again, I would say my family and I were doing better with Trump. Again, I would go and ask you, were you better off 4 years ago with Trump or with this current administration, Kamala Harris and Biden? And so, because of that, I would say that's why I have to go with Trump, because I don't think I would be able to survive another 4 years of Kamala Harris and Joe Biden administration, because it's going to be a carryover with Kamala Harris, and it's probably going to be even worse. Because if she's not answering, there's a reason why she's not answering, and even what she's proposed is not feasible. And where would she get all this money? And you have to work with both sides. If you call Trump supporters or anyone that you're going to have to work with, Republicans, trash or garbage, that does not help or bode well to get them back on trying to pass any bill that you want. So that was a mess. Again, I wouldn't call either party. Again, I could see why you would vote for Kamala Harris at this point. Would be abortion, because she would lead in that sense, if that is your biggest thing. But again, it comes back to where you compare the two administrations. Who were you better off with? If that's your biggest goal of secure borders, more jobs, better economy, I would say Trump, hands down, is going to have that. And with a proposal, again, no taxes on tips, that's going to be great, especially living here in Vegas. A lot of people likes that. That's why Harris was starting to steal that, where she was trying to also steal, because JD Vance came up also with the tax credit for kids. That was another thing that Kamala Harris stole. I think that's why Trump did not want to reveal a lot of his main proposal, but we know what he stands for because of his previous administration and what they did. And then also, the team that he's going to bring in is a lot better, sounds like, than previous administration that he brought in. So you're going to have Elon Musk, you're going to have RFK, Tulsi, and then who else is there? I think those are the big three, I would say, that's going to help guide his administration. JD Vance, younger. And if you're afraid of Trump's health, you have JD Vance that's younger. That's another reason why I think he chose JD. And he's done. What's crazy is JD Vance actually outnumber Kamala Harris podcast interview with Shay Shay, and his appearance with Joe Rogan has surpassed that. That kind of shows that. And what's crazy is that everything Kamala Harris has gone through podcasts or any interviews, her views does not surpass right now Joe Rogan's interview with JD Vance or Trump. So that could have been another mistake. It will be interesting as a recap. I'll probably do that of whoever wins, of why they could have probably lost and all that. But that, like I said, I'm probably not going to do anymore. And that's another reason I usually don't talk about politics or anything, but I think it's very important. Gotta do your research. Even some of the Republican celebrities that were endorsing said that. The funny thing is, most celebrities on the Democratic side that's endorsing Harris did not want to say that. Because if you do your research, you could see why Kamala Harris is potentially the worst candidate ever. And that's why she did not get a single vote to be the nominee for the Democrat, even when she dropped out. That's why I kept saying it should have been open primary. Then you had the people speaking. So, yeah, that's why, like I said, I'm going based on what I think for our country needs. And there was also no war with Trump and with North Korea, with Russia. There are rumors, and that's not being covered also, that they're ready to maybe attack Ukraine. And then there's also with the war with Israel, and that's another issue. And then China with Taiwan, that's another issue. Like, we're a lot closer than you think, that they're not even covering about World War III. And that's where I think we really need Trump to be able to de-escalate, because he do know those leaders and know how to push the right buttons potentially to end or stop that war. Um, so protection there. Again, you deport um, any illegal immigrants that did not come through the right way is going to help with jobs too. Because there are jobs. If you see, I do Uber Eats every now and then, and the report is that some places they have Uber Eats, DoorDash, any of those um, gig economy. They're hiring illegal immigrants too. You could look at YouTube and stuff like that. There's stuff all about it. Um, so yeah, that's why again I went for Trump. This would be the second time, but I did not go for him on the first time because I did not know what to expect. But because he did a good job the first time, that's why I'm going based on that. And we know his track record on the economy and everything like that. I'm not going based on character, because character doesn't always get the job done. And we need someone strong enough to be able to handle and man of faith, because I feel like when he got shot the first time, it's like an act of God or miracle that there's a purpose or reason for him, that he needs to be in office to get, or there's going to be something where he has something he's going to help this country. Other than that, let me know what you think. Do you agree? I know at the time, 2020, you were kind of silent, and that's the other thing. The Democrats are more now about censoring people, and that's why I think Elon Musk purchased X now as Twitter, um, for that reason, to keep freedom of speech, First Amendment rights. So go ahead and hit that like button and subscribe to our channel if you haven't done so already. And like I said, because of my history, voting history, I like meaningful conversations instead of attacking each other and unifying everybody. So together we could build a better tomorrow. Thanks.